Ice fishing in the UP usually means perch or bluegills, walleye or pike. What in the heck is a burbot?
They're not fun to clean, but they do taste good.
Trapping is live and well here in the UP, and for some, it's a family affair.
It's a family event. We go out every winter. We've done it since '99.
9 million acres of forest, 1,700 miles of continuous shoreline, 4,300 lakes, 12,000 miles of streams, more than 300 waterfalls, 15 counties, 2 time zones, and 1 area code. Welcome to the Upper Peninsula. Welcome to 906 Outdoors. .906 Outdoors is brought to you by Cooking Wild Seasonings. Make it fresh, make it yours. A while back, I had the opportunity to visit with Pat Magdaleno of Mag's Custom Rods for a look at how custom rods are built. I met up with Pat again and had the chance to see his rods in action on Lake Superior night fishing for burbot. So what is a burbot? It's the only freshwater cod-like fish. It's also known as freshwater ling, lawyer, ling cod, eel pout, and a variety of other names. During the summer months, burbot are typically found in colder water below the thermocline. In Lake Superior, they can live in depths below 1,000 feet. Between December and March, burbot migrate to nearshore reefs of sand and gravel to spawn. It looks like a cross between a catfish and an eel. Its serpent-like body is distinguishable by a single whisker. I'm told it tastes a lot better than it looks.
So we're out here tonight on Lake Superior. Gonna do some burbot fishing, but I'm gonna put out a couple tip-ups and with a big bait on it, see if we can't get something big. Then we're gonna jig for burbot in the shack, fishing about 70 feet of water. I'm gonna put a small whitefish on this tip up. Never know, I might get a big pike or big lake trout, even a giant burbot. Put him on a quick strike, set him on the bottom, see if we can't get something big. I'm using a Swedish pimple, maybe 3/4 ounce, tipped with a couple minnow heads. And big thing is you gotta get a glow jig. I'm just using a bigger pimple because we're fishing 70 feet and it's nice to get it down fast. Usually I only fish 30 to 40, but fish have been on a little deeper. Pretty much any jig with a cut bait or anything like that, you'll get them. Burbot aren't too picky. They're pretty good eating too. They look pretty nasty, but I was hesitant to try eating them for a while, but when I first tried, it's really good. I boiled it and then sauteed it in butter. A lot of people like to deep fry them, and they say cheap man's lobster, so it's pretty good. I like it.
906 Outdoors is brought to you in part by Christ, your Northwoods neighborhood store.
I'm using a 36-inch medium heavy, actually bait caster with a spiral wrap setup where the guides start on the top of the blank and you turn them 15 to 30 degrees until they're on the bottom, and you just get better torque out of the rod. And this is actually the first ice rod I've made like that. I haven't even caught a fish on this one yet, so we'll see how it works. there's one. Oh, sweet. Seems like a pretty good one. Yeah, he's right here. There he is. Burbot. Not too big. Smaller one. That'll be dinner tomorrow. Yeah, they're just different fish. Just lip them like a bass. Kind of look like an eel. All they do is eat on the bottom. Slimy. They're not fun to clean, but they do taste good. That's probably on the smaller side for Lake Superior, but it'll eat. That's the first fish I've ever caught on this rod, and it felt amazing. I made this rod. I'm going to Lake Erie here in a couple of weeks, and got a medium heavy for walleye. Bait caster, picks up line really good. Spiral wrap. Yeah, it felt really good. I'm gonna set up this iFish Pro. I'll show you how to use it. I haven't caught a fish on it yet, but I just got it the other day. I like catching fish on a rod more than a tip up. I'm just using a sucker. I was walleye fishing yesterday and just using the dead suckers, and it seems like dead bait works better than live for burbot. Just sit it right on the bottom. Pretty much any kind of cut bait will work good. Little treble hook and some weight. Sit it right on the bottom. And it's nice because you have your depth marked every time. It just stops right at the bobber stop. Fishing about 70 feet. I'm gonna put this one right on the bottom. Usually those burbot are sitting right on the bottom, if not a foot or two up. Usually get them on cut bait or minnows, or pretty much eat anything. Kind of a weird looking fish. Kind of like an eel. If you can get on a good bite, it's pretty fun catching them. Usually bite at night. I've only caught a couple during the day ever, but at night they seem to feed really good. And I believe tonight's the full moon, so we should be able to get into them. See, that's at the bottom there. You mark your bottom with the bobber stop. Right there. Slide your line through there. Put the flag down, and you put your little clip, and your bobber stop goes through a little hole and it stops there. When you get a bite, it just pulls that clip, and you leave your bail open, and it just takes line freely. So it's pretty cool. Hopefully we can catch fish on it tonight. We'll see how they work. That's what they're feeding on. Just marking them all over the Vexlar, and they're just gorging on the smelt. We'll use him for bait. Little smelt that swam up the hole. We're getting some action. Full moon burbot bite tonight. A little small one. These are hard to even get a hold of. They're so slimy. A little baby burbot. That one can go back.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Rapid River Knife Works. If you're ice fishing from a shack, you know that moving from one spot to another is not an easy task. Here's a little tip on finding just the right spot.
One of the best places for a beginner to locate a good spot is weed edges. What happens is that your bigger predator fish will follow that. And on the one side you've got the weeds, and on the other side is deeper water. And what they're looking for is to get any type of small fish out in the deeper water, and they scoot to them and scare them out in deeper water, and they're easy prey then. Anytime you've got some type of cover for your predator fish and cover for the bait fish, you're going to get, the two are going to collide somewhere along the way. So, you can be there above there with your decoy down and waiting for, that situation to create itself.
Let's see. There we go. That's pretty cool. I'd much rather use that than a tip up. Feels like a decent one. Yeah, that took a pretty good sized sucker down. That's cool though that thing worked. Oh yeah, little whiskers. I'll eat that one. Just a fat belly. That's all they do is eat. They're not fun to clean. They're a mess. They're slimy. But they're good eating. If you boil them and saute them in butter, they're really similar to lobster. But you deep fry them, they're really good too. Yeah, I'd say they're kind of like cod. But a lot of people won't even try them just because of the way they look. But I'll eat them. I wanted to get one on there too. It's always good to have the right rod for whatever type of fishing you're doing. Like right now I'm fishing, pretty good sized jig in 70 feet of water. I'm running braid, no stretch, pretty stiff rod so you can get a good hook set. And just so you're catching bigger fish, you want a heavier rod. Like right here, if you're fishing panfish, I got a nice panfish rod here. This is an ultralight, probably bluegill perch. I put a glow bead on the tip for low light conditions. You can still see the bite really good. It's a nice light action for panfish. And then I got a medium heavy right here set up on this iFish Pro. It's good for walleye, deep water jigging. I always run braid in deep water, so there's no stretch. See if we can get one on that. Then I also have a power noodle. This is also a panfish rod too. It's got a light tip but really good backbone, so if you're fishing deep water panfish, you can still see that really light bite, but it's got the backbone to get a good hook set in it too. So just all kinds of different rods for different types of fishing. Now that I make them, I can have multiple of everything, but just different tools for different jobs. Bait caster, I like fishing bait casters a lot. They pick up line fast, especially for deep water. One crank is like 3 of those on a spinning reel, and it's just easier for me. Oh yeah, there we go. Pretty good one. Midnight fish right here. A little slower bite tonight. Oh yeah. Biggest one of the night. Oh, tail first. Last one is the biggest. Yeah, well, it's past midnight and we got fish. We're gonna call it a night. Could have done better, could have done worse, but we got some nice fish.
.906 Outdoors is brought to you in part by Blades Bait and Tackle, your year-round connection to fishing bait Enoch. Trapping dates back centuries and has played an integral part in the development of the Upper Peninsula as well as all of North America. Today, trapping continues to be one of the most challenging and rewarding of outdoor sports and an important tool in wildlife management. For some, it's about carrying on the heritage of their trapping forefathers. For others, it's just about being in the outdoors. And for some, it's about family.
It's a family event. We've done it since '99. We've gone out every winter. We set cat traps. Now we set fisher traps. And sometimes we get the coons in the middle of the winter when the warm-up comes. But it's just a good day in the woods for the family. Alexis, my daughter, she was 9 years old when she started trapping on her own. She'd grab a bucket and a bait and go one way, and I'd go the other way. And Kim, she just loves being out in the woods with us, and we'll set, 10, 12 sets, and then you pick a set, and if an animal's in that set, that's yours. So we make it a family event. Yeah, see that game trail? That's why we picked this as a set here. A real good game trail that everything's using. The deer, bobcat, fisher tracks are on here. This is called a leaning pole set. In order to be legal in the state of Michigan, to use a 330, you have to be 4 foot above the ground. Even though we're on private property, you never know when a neighbor's dog might stray over, so this way we don't catch nobody's dog. Everybody's happy. Okay, what I got here is a small beaver carcass, and I'm gonna wire this down so it's not so easy for the animals to get it. A lot of people don't realize that trapping, we use, the animal not just for the fur, but we use the carcasses to trap other animals with. And I make beaver jerky out of most of the big beaver I catch. We put this brush overhead so that the crows and that can't see it from above as much. You got her, Ava? Okay, I'm coming for you. Thank you. It's got to fit right into the stand here. One thing cats like to do sometimes is jump up instead of walk up the plank, so to speak. You want to leave the branches on underneath, and that kind of prevents them from coming up. But you want to make sure, like that placement in there, that blocks this whole side, so he'll come up there. The only thing I got left to do now is put some real strong smelling call lure on here so that anything passing on the old logging road out there will veer in here. This is a call lure. Basically, it works with scent. It just stinks to high heaven. It's nasty stuff. And it'll get their attention and bring them on over. My wife's wrinkling her nose over there, so I'm sure she can smell it already. Nasty. There's a porcupine. We crossed this trail. He come right through here, goes underneath this roots, goes right up along here, along this bank, goes through there, comes along here, and then back in underneath this upturned roots. This is where he's denning up for the winter. You can see he comes out over there too. And every year I'll find a few dens like that. It's something that not every person sees, or if they see it, they don't know what it is. That's a porky den. Should be able to draw something off of that road. These are 330 traps here. You got to get it big enough so that the bobcat can get his head in there and body in there, but you don't want it too big, so the opening, so that the fisher walks right through without setting the trap off. Now I want to wire some stuff in here from the side because it would be way too easy for a cat to try and jump up here and get this. Whew. Strong and skunk, so this will bring anything that's around. All of your big brand now use a lot of skunk essence. Everything likes a skunk. If you notice when one's hit on the road in the summertime, 2 weeks from now, you go by there and you're like, whew, you smell skunk, but there's nothing left of the carcass, it's gone. But the skunk smell is still there. That's what you're after in these kind of lures, is that everlasting smell, so that if it rains or it snows or it sleets, that you don't have to come out here and reapply this all the time. That essence is gonna be there for good. You take and catch a skunk and you bury it, I'll guarantee you, a coyote or a fox or a cat is gonna come along and dig that up in a few weeks' time. They can smell that skunk, they love to eat them. I don't know how they can stand to eat them, but they do. Every canine out there will eat a skunk, and nothing will eat a possum. This is a good set. We got the roadway right here, 8 feet away. Cats and deer are traveling this roadway all the time. This is an old logging road. We shouldn't have no problem drawing them up into this beaver carcass here.